නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දන්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දන්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දන්ස. Homage to the exalted one, the worthy one, the supremely enlightened one. Three refuge. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅඝaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. I go to the Buddha for refuge. I go to the Dhamma for refuge. I go to the Sangha for refuge. Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi saṅඝaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. A second time I go to the Buddha for refuge. A second time I go to the Dhamma for refuge. A second time I go to the Sangha for refuge. Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi saṅඝaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. A third time I go to the Buddha for refuge. A third time I go to the Dhamma for refuge. A third time I go to the Sangha for refuge. 5 precepts. Panchasila. Pānātipātā veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyāmi. I undertake that training rule to abstain from taking life. Adinādāna veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyāmi. I undertake that training rule to abstain from stealing. Kāmesu miccācārā veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyāmi. I undertake the training rule to abstain from sexual misconduct. Musāvādā veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyāmi. I undertake the training rule to abstain from false speech. Surameraya majjapama daṭṭhāna veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyāmi. I undertake the training rule to abstain from intoxicating drinks and drugs causing heedlessness. Homage to the Buddha. Buddha Vandana. Itipiso bhagavā arahaṃ sammā sambuddho viññācarana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma sārati sattā deva manussānaṃ Buddho Bhagavati. Such indeed the exalted one, supremely enlightened, endowed with knowledge and conduct, well gone, knower of the world, incomparable trainer of persons to be tamed, supreme teacher of deities and men, enlightened and exalted. Dhamma Vandana, homage to the teachings of the Buddha. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sandittiko Akaliko Ehi Pansiko Opanaiko Panchantang Veditambo Vinyuhiti. Dhamma is well expounded by the exalted one, directly visible, immediately effective, calling one to come and see, leading onwards, and to be personally realized by the wise. Sangha Vandana, homage to the noble disciples of the Supreme Buddha. Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ujjopatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Nyāyapatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Samīcipatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Yadidañ Chantari Purisa Yugani Atta Purisa Pungalam Esa Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakhineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuntaram Punyakentam Lokansati. The order of the Blessed One's disciples is practicing well. The order of the Blessed One's disciples is practicing rightly. The order of the Blessed One's disciples is practicing correctly. The order of the Blessed One's disciples is practicing properly. This is the 4 pairs of persons, the 8 kind of individuals. This order of the Blessed One's disciples is worthy of offerings and hospitality, worthy of gifts and salutation, the supreme field of merits for the world. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear friends in Dhamma, today we are going to start our Saturday Dhamma program of Los Angeles Buddhist Vihara, the Mindfulness Meditation Center in Covina, Los Angeles, California. Before we start our Dhamma sermon, we are going to practice a meditation technique for our inner peace. By practicing a concentration meditation technique, we are going to purify our mind from negativities. Here we are going to practice very useful meditation technique that we practice usually, the Metta Bhavana, loving kindness meditation. Buddha says very clearly, he who wishes to attain the peace of mind should practice loving kindness meditation. The main purpose of practicing loving kindness meditation is to overcome anger, one of the main reasons that we suffer, that we worry. When we practice loving kindness meditation, little by little we are able to overcome negative thoughts from our mind, such as anger, lust, conceit, jealousy. These are the negativities that we are able to overcome by practicing concentration meditation and especially by practicing loving kindness meditation. When mind gains concentration, we can reflect on impermanence, vipassana bhavana, which is the main meditation technique in Buddhism. According to Buddhism, there are two meditation techniques. One of them is Samatha Bhavana or concentration meditation. The other one is Vipassana Bhavana or insight meditation. The purpose of practicing concentration meditation is to overcome 5 hindrances and concentrate our mind in a particular wholesome object. By practicing insight meditation, we reflect on impermanence, the reality of our life. These are the purposes of practicing concentration and insight meditation techniques. At the beginning of this session, we are going to practice loving kindness meditation for our inner peace. Okay, dear friends in Dhamma, please get ready for sitting meditation for a while. Please take a seat comfortably. Relax your body, please. Straight your body. Keep your right hand on the left hand, please. Close your eyes gently. Be aware of your body posture that you are sitting here, from your head to legs and from your legs to head. And take a breath in. Hold a second and breathe out slowly. Again take a deep breath in. Hold few seconds and breathe out slowly. Relax your body, please, again. And keep your attention around the nose or upper lip in the present moment. Be aware of the present moment, keeping your attention around the nose or upper lip. Now, I am going to spread loving kindness thoughts to the world who are in this world. From my house to the world, I am going to bless upon everyone those who are in this world. May all beings at this home be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this city be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this county be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this state be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this country be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this continent be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this planet, the earth, be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in the solar system be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this galaxy, the Milky Way, be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this universe be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. May all beings in this entire world be well, happy and peaceful. May they attain the final bliss of liberation. I see all the world like my friends, like my family members, like my children. I wish all of them. I am friendly with everyone, those who are in this world. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Day by day, I increase the duration of practicing loving kindness meditation to everyone in this world for my inner peace. Day by day, I go forward practicing loving kindness thoughts for my inner peace. I see all over the world like my children. I have no anger with everyone. I am not angry with everyone in this universe. I bless all of them. I see all over the world like my children. When I practice loving kindness meditation, every moment my body changed, my mind also changed. This is the nature of my life. Impermanence is the reality of my life. Every moment, body changes, mind also changes. My six senses, such as ear, nose, eye, tongue, body and mind, these six senses every moment change. They arise and cease. According to my internal senses, six external objects arise at the moment, such as form, sounds, smell, taste, touching, and mental formations. Those things also arise at the moment, they immediately cease. This is the impermanence, is the reality of my life. I say this reality with my wisdom, mindfully. Whatever I experience through my senses, it means five aggregates arise at the moment. Five aggregates means Rupa, forms, Vedana, feelings, Sanya, perception, Sankhara, mental formations, and Vijnana, consciousness. Every moment these five things arise together. They constantly cease together. I see this reality. Even though I see some form sounds like that, the bottom level of my experience is that these five aggregates, every moment they arise and cease, arise in, cease in, arise in, cease in, arise in, cease in. When I recognize something, the very first experience has already ceased. I recognize something not through my eye, ear, nose, or tongue, or body. I recognize everything through my mind consciousness. When I understand something through my mind consciousness, the very first experience has already ceased. This is the reality of my life. I am never able to reach forms at the present moment with understanding. When I recognize something, my eye has ceased, forms have ceased, eye consciousness has ceased. I recognize everything through my mind consciousness. When I recognize something through my mind consciousness, the five consciousnesses have already ceased. I see this reality every moment. This is the way to overcome suffering. Reflecting on this reality is the way to overcome suffering and attain the liberation. Therefore, day by day, in one side, I increase the duration of practicing loving kindness meditation as a concentration meditation technique. On the other side, with mindfulness, I increase the duration of reflecting on impermanence which happens to my senses and five aggregates. My real success depends on my happiness. Happiness depends on getting rid of suffering. Getting rid of suffering completely depends on the duration of practicing concentration meditation and insight meditation, reflecting on impermanence. This is the main advice that the Blessed One explained. This is the way how we get the results from my life. This is the way how we give the highest value to my life. This is the way what is the real path of liberation. Therefore, day by day, I increase the duration of practicing loving kindness meditation and insight meditation, reflecting on impermanence. Sabbe sankara anicchati yada paññāya pansati ata nibbindati dukke esa maggo visuddhiya. All conditioned things are impermanent. He who sees this reality with wisdom overcomes suffering. This is the path to purity. Sabbe sankara dukkhati yada paññāya pansati ata nibbindati dukke esa maggo visuddhiya. All conditioned things are dissatisfactory. He who sees this reality with wisdom overcomes suffering. This is the path to purity. Sabbe dhamma anattati yada paññāya pansati අතනිම්බින්දති දුක්කේ ඒස මග්ගෝ විසුන්දියා. All phenomena are selfless. He who sees this reality with wisdom overcomes suffering. This is the path to purity. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Friends in Dhamma, today we are going to discuss one of the discourses named Dutiya Kamma Sutta, which comes in Anguttara Nikaya. Buddha says there are 4 karmas in this sutta. Chattarimani bhikkhave kammani maya sayang abhinya satchikatta pavedeti. Buddha says there are 4 karmas, volitional actions that proclaimed by me, that I understood by my own understanding, direct understanding. Here Buddha explains 4 karmas actions. The very first one is Atte bhikkhave kammang kanhan kanna vipakam. There is black karma with black results. Atte bhikkhave kammang sukkhan sukha vipakam. There is white karma with white results. Atti bhikkhave kammang kanna sukha vipakam. There is karma that black and white with black and white results. Again Buddha says, Atti bhikkhave kammang akanna sukha vipakam. There is some karma that neither black nor white with neither black nor white results. These are the 4 karmas proclaimed by the Blessed One, what he understood by himself with his direct knowledge. Here we should understand several words. One of them is sukha. Sukha means white or good karma, wholesome activities. Then kanha. Kanha means in Pali language black. Black is used here for bad karma, unwholesome activities, evils. Then here it is said that kamma. Kamma means not just actions but volitional actions. What we do physically, verbally or mentally with intention. That is karma. And also kammakaya samvatati. There are some karmas that Buddha says to overcome the karmic energy that helps us to destruct the world, the karma. As I mentioned before, black means bad karma, white means good karma, kamma means volitional actions that we do physically, verbally or mentally, and kammakaya means overcoming the karma or destruction of the karmic energy. These are the things which I explained here. In Buddhist teachings, we can see there are a lot of discourses that Buddha explained for karmic energy. Karma means the volitional actions. We should understand the karmic law. Buddha says, Kamma sapom hi kamma dayado කම්මයෝනි කම්මබන්ධෝ කම්මපටිසරණෝ යං කම්මං කරිස්සාමි කල්යාණං වා පාපකං වා තස්ස දායාදෝති දායාදෝ භවිස්සාමීති අබින්නං පච්චේ කිතබ්බං ඉත්තිහාවා පුරිසේනවා ගහට්ටේනවා පබජිතේනවා. I am the owner of my karma, the inheritor of my karma, born from my karma. I am the relative of my karma, and also I am the refuge of my karma. Karma is my refuge. Whatever we do, whatever I do with intention, physically, verbally, or mentally, whether it is good or bad, I will receive its results. This reality should be constantly reflected by woman or man, by a householder or a monastic. The karmic energy should be contemplated constantly by everyone. This karmic energy influences our life a lot. That is why Buddha explained very clearly, we always think the karma, the actions, volitional actions, are the real relative of my life. I am the owner of my karma. I am the inheritor of my karma. Karma is my refuge. I am born from karma. Karma is my relative. Whatever I do, whether it is good or bad, I will receive its result. This should be constantly contemplated by everyone who is seeking the inner peace, happiness. In this situation, karma is well explained in Buddhism. Buddha says very clearly here, it is very important our mental situation. Even though we do something, if our mind is not related with that action, that doesn't come to karma or karma vipaka. Here, the mind, mental situation is very important. That is why Buddha says, Mano pubbangama dhamma, mano setta manomaya. Manasati paduttena bahasati va karoti va, tato nan dukkham anveti, chakkhana vahato padam. Mind is the forerunner. Mind is chief. Mind made dade. If someone speaks or acts with a wicked mind, because of impure mind, suffering follows him. Even as the wheel follows the hoof of the draft oxen. In the same way, manasache pasanena bahasativa karotiva. Mind is the forerunner, mind is chief, mind made dade. If someone speaks or acts with a pure mind, because of that pure mind, happiness follows him, even as one's shadow never leaves. This is the reality of the karma or action. In this situation, if someone has this understanding, actually this is right understanding, samadhi. Samadhi or right understanding in Buddhism is divided into two. The very first step of right understanding, correct vision, is that understanding the karmic law. Whatever we do with intention, we will have the same results. In this situation, we always train our mind to overcome evils, negativities, unwholesome deeds for our inner peace. The reason is that the more we do bad deeds with the wicked mind, the more we have to face suffering. No one likes to get suffering. The main purpose of everyone is that happiness. In this situation, if someone knows this reality, he or she doesn't like to get suffering. Always he wants to overcome evil or negative activities, unwholesome deeds. That is why the first advice in Buddhism is that sabba papa sakaranam, not to do any evil, physically or verbally. When we do something physically or verbally, we should think again and again whether it is correct or not. With this understanding, we should behave. Not only that, we should practice good deeds for our inner peace. With the understanding of the karmic law, we always practice good deeds for our inner peace. In this sutta, Buddha explained with his direct knowledge 4 karmas. The very first one is Atti bhikkhave kammang kanhan kanha vipakam. There is black karma with black results. If we do something with a wicked mind, physically, verbally or mentally, suffering follows us. As the result of this way, we have to face problems, suffering in this immediate life. The very first karma that Buddha proclaimed is that there is black karma that causes black results, evil results. What are the black karmas? If we do something with a wicked mind, physically, verbally or mentally, such as killing beings, stealing, like that, these are the things that we do with a polluted mind. If we do these things, we have to face apunya visankhara, or demeritorious karma formations. When we do something with an impure mind, we collect demeritorious karma formations, mental formations, that brings us suffering in this life and hereafter. This is said in Buddhism, Atti bhikkhave kammang kanhan kanha vipakam. There is black karma that causes black results. The second one, sukkhan sukha vipakam. There is white karma, bright karma, or wholesome karma with white results. With a pure mind, if we do some good deeds, physically, verbally or mentally, such as generosity, virtue, compassion, mindfulness, loving kindness, these are the wholesome activities that we do with a pure mind. As the result of this path, we can receive fruitful results in this life and hereafter. These actions are said as white karma. White symbolizes pure or wholesomeness. Punya visankhara, meritorious karma formations. And also Buddha says the next karma, Atti bhikkhave kammang kanha sukkhan kanha sukha vipakam. There is karma that black and white with black and white results. What is that? We constantly do some good activities and bad activities, good karma and bad karma, that is said here. Atti bhikkhave kammang kanha sukkhan kanha sukha vipakam. In one side, we do bad activities, bad karma. On the other side, constantly, we do good activities. This is the third one that Buddha explained. There is karma, that black and white, with the result of black and white results. These three karmas are realized by many people. When Buddha appeared in this world, there were a lot of ascetic people who had realized these three karmas. Not only that, they had to develop their mind to the maximum level in the mundane level. They practiced jhanas up to the higher level, arupavachara dhyana too. But they couldn't realize that the fourth one, atti bhikkave kammang akana sukhang akana sukha vipakam. There is karma that neither black nor white, with neither black nor white results. Kammakaya samvatati. This helps us to destructions of karma, the sansaric circle. This is very unique. Buddha first of all explained the way how we overcome negativities. The main purpose of Buddhism is that Buddhism pointed out the way how we not fall into hell. For that we have to overcome negative activities physically and verbally. That is why Buddha always encouraged us to practice 5 precepts. Abstaining from taking life, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from foul speech, abstaining from intoxicating drinks and drugs causing heedlessness. When we practice these activities, when we practice this virtue or moral conduct, it means we are able to overcome some negativities from our life. As the result of practice this path, we can see the results in this immediate life. We can overcome a lot of difficulties and problems in this immediate life as the result of practicing this path. Not only that, Buddha explained the way how we receive a blissful life hereafter. For that, we have to practice 3 meritorious deeds. With a pure mind, we should practice generosity, virtue, and mental culture. The main purpose of practicing these 3 meritorious is that to be happy in this life and have a blissful life when we die hereafter. Sometimes Buddha has explained these qualities in another way, such as Saddha Sampada, Sila Sampada, Tyaga Sampada, and Panya Sampada. The accomplishment of confidence in the Triple Gem, the accomplishment of virtue or moral conduct, the accomplishment of charity or generosity, the accomplishment of wisdom or Panya. These 4 things are explained by the Blessed One in the discourse of Yagapajya. For the happy life, for a blissful life hereafter, these 4 things should be practiced by the wise person. Not only that, we can see the results when we practice these good deeds in this life. We have some visible results such as longevity, good complexion, health, having some good friends. These are the results that we can see when we practice good deeds in this life. When we practice good karma, white karma, we can see the white results, fruitful results, wholesome results in this life. The next karma is that atti bhikkave kammang kanna sukhang kanna sukha vipakam. We practice both karmas, black and white, bad and good. And also Buddha explained the results of these three karmas, very first three karmas. As the result of doing bad activities, bad karmas with a polluted mind, we have to get suffering in this life and we have to fall into hell after we die. We have no real peace, we have no real happiness when we practice bad deeds with a wicked mind, impure mind. Therefore, as a wise person, as wise people who are in this world, we have to overcome these negativities, evils, unwholesome deeds from our life as much as we can for our inner peace, he who wishes to attain the peace of mind. The next one is that practicing good deeds, punya abhisankhara. Punya abhisankhara means meritorious karma formations. With a pure mind, if we can practice good deeds again and again, then we can develop our happiness in this life. When our mind is pure and calm, our activities, our behavior, and our speech, our words are very correct. When we keep our mind pure and calm, automatically a lot of good deeds happen in our life. We can see a lot of blissful things that we can practice in this life according to the Mangala Sutta, the discourse of bliss. Buddha says, when someone's mind is pure and calm, he can practice a lot of deeds, good deeds, which are very helpful to this life. Mata Pitu Pattanam, helping our mother and father, or taking care of our parents. Kalena Dhamma Savanam, listening to Dhamma in the proper time. Kalena Dhamma Sakaccha, discussing Dhamma in the proper time. Anakulacha Kammanta, good actions. And Puttadarasa Sangaho, for taking care of our children, wives and husbands. And Subhasitacha Yavacha, speaking good words is a supreme blessing. And also Katanyuta, gratitude is a supreme blessing. Look at here. When we keep our mind pure and calm, automatically in our day-to-day life, a lot of blissful things happen in our life. This is the nature of the keeping our mind pure and calm. Then day by day we can see our happiness, inner peace increases. And also, we should understand very special thing. These four karmas, the very first one is black karma, the second one is white karma, and the third one is black and white karma. These three karmas belong to the world. Even though we avoid bad karmas and practice good deeds, still we are in the sansaric circle. Buddha first of all shows us the path of heaven, how we receive a blissful life hereafter. In the first level of Sammaditthi, with the understanding of the karmic law, we avoid bad deeds and we practice good deeds in this life as much as we can. As the result of practicing the heavenly path, we have confidence that we don't fall into hell. With this confidence, we should go to the higher level, which is the main doctrine, main teaching that Buddha explained. What is the reason? The reason is that even though we practice good deeds such as generosity, morality, and meditation, still we are in the sansaric circle because of ignorance. What is the ignorance? Ignorance means when we look at something outside, we think there is something at the moment. And also, when we remember something, we think still something is happening that we experienced in the past. And also we think after we experience something, something remains in this world. This is the nature of the ignorance. As the result of this ignorance or delusion, when we experience something through our senses, suddenly our mind is fixed in outside material things and persons. And also, when mind is fixed in outside persons and things, when those things change, we get suffering. We are unhappy because we depend on outside. In this situation, we should understand the reality of our life. For that, we should have the clear understanding, the second level of Sammaditthi or right understanding. The second level of Sammaditthi is that the right understanding, which is noble, supramundane, and a factor of the path. Arya Anasava Lokuttara Magganga. There is right vision. Arya, which is noble, Anasava, taintless, Lokuttara, supramundane, Magganga, a factor of the path. What is that? The second level of Sammaditthi is that understanding the Four Noble Truths. Chattari Arya Satchani. What is the Four Noble Truths? The noble truth of suffering, Dukkha Satya, and the noble truth of the origin of suffering, Samudaya Satya, and the noble truth of the cessation of suffering, Nirodha Satya. Fourth one is Dukkha Nirodha Gamini Patipadarya Satya, the noble truth of the path that leads to getting rid of suffering. What is the first truth? The noble truth of suffering. The very first experience that we receive through our senses. When we look at something, when we hear something, when we smell something, the very first experience that we receive as the result of karma of our previous actions, the very first experience is the noble truth of suffering. That very first experience is neither pleasant nor unpleasant, neither wholesome nor unwholesome. That is neutral. The five groups of existence, five aggregates, arising of five aggregates. That five aggregates are very instant, that arises together, that cease together at the moment. And also, when we recognize something through our senses, actually the very first experience has already ceased. When you look at some form, you may think that I understand something at the moment. Actually, that is not true. When we recognize something, very first experience, our eye, ear, eye contact, eye consciousness, those things have already ceased. This is the reality. If we don't know this reality, it means we are ignorant. It means we have attachment to the world. That is the craving or attachment, the noble truth of the origin of suffering. If you know this understanding, then we don't depend on outside. We suddenly understand when we hear something, when we see something, when we smell something, when we taste something, when we touch something, when we remember something, the very first experience has already ceased. With this understanding, we meet the path that leads to getting rid of suffering, the Noble Eightfold Path, Arya Ashtangika Magga. Then we follow the Noble Eightfold Path. Whenever we practice the Noble Eightfold Path or three disciplines with concentration and insight meditation, we create new karma. That means, according to the fifth one that Buddha explained, Atti bhikkhave kammang akhanna sukkang akhanna sukha vipakam kammakkhaya sangatati. there is karma that is neither black nor white, with the result of neither black nor white. Whenever we do some good activities depending on outside, we can acquire some positive thoughts in our mind. We can acquire meritorious thoughts in our mind, but we depend on outside. As the result of practicing Punya Sankhara, meritorious karma formations, and also Ananjabi Sankhara. Ananjabi Sankhara means immaterial karma formations, which causes us to be reborn in the formless sphere, Arupachara Brahmaloka, formless realms. Even though we practice Punyabi Sankhara and Ananjabi Sankhara, even though we can concentrate our mind in the present moment, actually we are still depend on outside. Sometimes even though we don't depend on materials, but we think there is some mind or consciousness which goes from birth to birth as permanent. That is why we are still in ignorance in the first three karmas, Punyabi Sankhara, Apunyabi Sankhara, Ananjabi Sankhara. Even though we practice some good deeds, because we depend on outside, we are unable to overcome the suffering of decay, disease, and death. Even though we practice meritorious deeds in the mundane level, we are unable to overcome the samsaric circle. Still we have the suffering of decay, suffering of disease, suffering of death, suffering of separation. In this situation, Buddha pointed out the way how we overcome these kind of sufferings from our life. For that, we should have clear understanding about our vision or samadhi or right understanding. For right understanding, we should understand the Four Noble Truths. Not only that, we should follow the path, the Noble Eightfold Path. Samadhi, right understanding. Again and again we have to listen to this message and we should cleanse the path. Samma Sankappa, right intention, the intention free from desire, the intention free from ill will, the desire free from cruelty. Right intention or right thoughts, Samma Sankappa. Then Samma Vacha, right speech, abstaining from false speech, abstaining from malicious words, abstaining from useless words like that. We should have discipline in our speech. And also right action, abstaining from stealing, killing beings, and sexual misconduct. Right action. Not only that, whatever we do as jobs, we do everything righteously, honestly, and correctly. Samma Ajiva, right livelihood. Because now we entered the right path for the liberation, overcoming the karma formations. And also right effort. We should have good effort to overcome evil and in order to practice good deeds. That is right effort. Samma Vayama. Samma Sati, right mindfulness. We contemplate on our body, feelings, consciousness, and mental formations. Not only we keep our attention in these four areas, but we reflect on arising and ceasing of body, feeling, consciousness, and mental formations. We see the results and causes of these four areas. The body arises because of food, ignorance, karma, and unknowing of these three things. When those things cease, the body also ceases. We understand how feeling arises. Feeling arises because of contact. When contact ceases, gradually feelings also cease. Feeling is not permanent. It always arises and ceases. And also consciousness or mind. Consciousness arises because of corporeality and mentality. Mentality and corporeality. When mentality and corporeality cease, consciousness also ceases. This consciousness is not a particular person, it is a result of some actions or reasons or causes. Not only that, we understand mental formations. Mental formations also arise because of some reasons such as contact. When contact ceases, mental formations also cease at the moment. We understand these four areas with details. We understand five aggregates. Every moment, five aggregates arise and cease. As the result of practicing mindfulness, we always recognize these five aggregates and also we enter right concentration. We always concentrate our mind by practicing mindfulness, and when mind gains concentration, we again and again reflect on impermanence of all the experiences in our life. As the result of this pattern, we can understand how suffering gradually ceases. The reason is that we are in the end of cessation of our aggregates, senses, and forms. This is the karma is highly appreciated in Buddhism, which is the unique that Buddha has explained, that Buddha has realized and proclaimed to the world by his direct knowledge. When Buddha appeared in the world before 6th century BC, nobody knew this reality. They understood only three karmas: Kanna karma, black karma, Sukha karma, white karma, and Kanna Sukha karma, black and white karma. These three karmas had been realized when Buddha appeared in the world. After Buddha appeared in this world in 6th century BC, Buddha realized and proclaimed this path to the world kindly and wisely with his great compassion. Whenever we reflect on this reality, contemplating on our body, feeling, consciousness, and mental formations, then little by little we can overcome karma formations. Kammakaya Samvatati. These mental formations help us to overcome the samsaric circle little by little. Not only we overcome the samsaric circle, whenever you think, whenever you are mindful and wise that when you look at something, when you hear something, when you smell something, if you know very well the forms have already ceased, then do you have attachment with something? Are you angry with someone? Do you have conceit or self-view in your life? Actually, we have no defilements whenever we have this wisdom. This is the nature of the Dhamma, well expounded, directly visible, immediately effective. This is the path that Buddha has explained to overcome suffering completely. Actually, we can see the results in this life. Other religions explain their results after they die, but the Supreme Buddha explained the results that we can gain in this immediate life before we die. This is the difference between Buddhism and other religions. All other religions explains their results after they die. But we are so fortunate because of the result of this immediate life, we can see the results in this life. Because the Dhamma is well expounded, directly visible, immediately effective, calling one to come and see, leading onwards, and to be personally realized by the wise. This is the nature of the Dhamma, what the Buddha explained. As the result of practicing this life, this path, this valuable sublime message, we are able to see the results, and also day by day we can go away from suffering. Whenever we practice virtue or sila, whenever we concentrate our mind in the present moment, first we can overcome hindrances, nivarana. Then little by little we can overcome fetters or asrava or sanyojana dharma. As the result of this path, day by day we can increase our inner peace. The ordinary people in the world, day by day, when they go to old age, sicknesses and death, their happiness gradually ceases, even though they are well educated, even though they are very rich. But although we are not rich or well educated, but if we have this understanding, knowledge, and if we practice this path day by day, we are able to increase our inner peace. While we are going to old age, sicknesses, death, and separations, physically, verbally, we are increasing our inner peace, happiness, emancipation, liberation. This is the path that the exalted one explained us very kindly. In this situation, today we discuss 4 karmas. Atti bhikkave kammang, kannan kanna vipakam. There is black karma with black results. As the result of black karma, we have to face some problems in this immediate life. Not only that, after we die, we have to fall into hell. That is the nature of bad karma. The next one, white karma. White karma means the karma, the action that we do with a pure mind. As the result of white karma or wholesome karma, we can be happy in this immediate life, and also we can receive a blissful life in the human realm or heavenly realm after we die. The third one, as the result of black and white karmas, sometimes we can come to the blissful life, or sometimes we have to receive some lives that we go blissful life and not blissful life. We have to change our life as a result of mixed karmas. The fifth one, the karma. There is karma that is neither black nor white. As the result of practicing this path, as the result of contemplating and reflecting on impermanence, dissatisfactory and selfless, day by day, we are able to reduce the clinging of 5 aggregates. As the result of this path, little by little, we are able to overcome the samsaric circle. However, while we are practicing this spiritual path, on the other side, we should do good deeds, and also we should be confident that we never fall into hell. Having that confidence in the blissful life on the other side with the association of good friends by listening Dhamma day by day. We should go forward on this path with the understanding of the Four Noble Truths and practicing the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay, dear friends in Dhamma, for that I wish you all the best. If you have any question, you can ask. Okay, if not, we are going to end our sermon and Dhamma session. We appreciate your participation in this program. By acquiring positive thoughts in this moment, we develop our spirituality by the power of these wholesome activities. May our departed relatives also receive this spiritual energy. May they rejoice with this spirituality and may they enhance their good lives, and also may they are able to attain the final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. By the power of this spiritual energy, may guardian deities and angels also rejoice with this merit, and may they enhance their divine energy. May they keep their eye on you too. May they protect you and the world. With that intention, let's transfer these merits to guardian deities and angels to recite in the Gatha together. Akasatthā ca bhummattha devānāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu sāsanam. Akasatthā ca bhummattha devānāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu desanam. Akasatthā ca bhummattha devānāgā mahiddhikā puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu tvaṃ sada. By the power of all these meritorious deeds and spirituality, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May your all righteous wishes meet with success. May all of us attain the final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dukkham pantā ca niddukkhaṃ bhayam pantā ca nibbhayam sokam pantā ca nissokam honto sambe pipānino. May the triple gem bless you. All the blessings be with you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu.